Well, isn't this a bombastic start? Souls trapped in seagulls, a murder most foul, and now an entire caravan held captive by a mimicry-enriched ocean. And if that wasn't enough, the betrayal of Winslow's still fresh in my mind. Hey, singing lady! Don't forget about me and Mr. Tassicobble. Of course. Would you like to tell this part? Yeah. So, me and Mr. Tassicobble were gonna make rainbow spaghetti. Then we went to the Big Key's kitchen to make waffles. I was a strawberry captain, and Mr. Tassicobble wanted to look into that spooky basement. No such luck. No. Now everyone's mad at the Earth Lady. A lot's going to happen in this chapter. They all gonna be okay? I sure hope so, little one. It is early in the wee hours of morning. You guys made the executive decision to send Ears and Kevin and Lobe after Winslow and the Sophomancer. May God have mercy.
Sophomancer.
It's secretly a wizard in disguise.
Works magic on the sofa.
Guys, I know what we have to make our next character.
Sophomancer.
At this point,
I'm kidding.
Yeah, he's not. It's all gonna be couch themed, or I'm not kidding. All right. Yes, early hours in the morning. The A team is off to go get Winslow. You guys are now the B team, which stands for
beach team.
Best.
The beach team.
Bros.
The best bro beach team, and you are currently.
We got business.
Okay. And you are currently at the Astral Puddle, I guess beachfront is what we can call it now. And it's good times there, you know. You got the whole Salted Pearl Caravan adult section just kind of pushed up against this raggedy-taggedy fence. And the other caravan just sort of there. They're not really sure what to do at this point. But you come back in with oh, actually, that's a good question. What are you guys doing with Florence?
Parking?
Yeah.
Wait. Is Florence monster mode or?
Any of us drive Florence?
That's another good question. I will let you kind of decide that, because if you need Ears to shrink it, I will let that happen. But yeah, up to you guys.
Won't have anything to pull it then.
Also, you might crush Ian on accident. He's still a thing.
Oops.
Where is Ian?
Ian's still in bed on the couch.
That's
Or
Yosh.
no,
Ian?
or Yosh, not Ian. Fucking, I'm mixing up all my people now. No, I meant Yosh, your bird, female, male, man person. Your bird person.
Forgot about him.
The
That
Fee-Man.
he's still with us.
Yeah, he's
Fee-Man.
He's Fee-Man, masters of the birdiverse. Jesus Christ, good starts.
Fucking hell. I'm
No, I
gonna catch
can't
so much shit for this.
Okay, so no, Yash is still in the caravan. Ian's no fucking. Oh my god. Y'all know what I
Ian
mean.
is at the caravan.
Yash is in
Florence.
Now listen,
Okay.
you can. Yash still has about 2 days worth of sleep on him now, so you can wake up
Are
Yash.
you serious?
Yes, I'm serious. We pre-established this. Fucking Ears gave him a sleeping tonic that'll last about 3 days.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well,
Right.
that's handy.
It is. I mean, for him, not for you.
God damn.
She doesn't just make alchemy shit with you. She has, you know, a life.
I mean, no, yeah, I figured, but like, I didn't think it'd be that strong.
Well, you know,
Oh,
last
Jesus.
episode, Mysteries of Ears.
Oh,
But
well.
yeah. So, Florence is still. I mean, Florence could get there in like 15 minutes tops. You just, you know, you'd have a giant monster card. But you have to remember too, you guys are probably the only ones who can see Florence as a monster card.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, so let's just kind of park them on the outside
Yeah.
and kind of head in.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Don't park them in disabled. The halflings will get pissed.
Yeah, we're gonna ticket.
We're
We
gonna
don't
take
want
it.
that.
Alright, so then here's my question. Who the fuck knows how to pilot Florence?
Um,
What would we roll for that?
how does one a Florence?
How does one A Florence indeed?
Is that
well,
technically animal handling?
Well, now
Is it
that's...
animal handling or is that use magic device? Which I guess isn't a thing anymore. I guess
Well,
it'd be
alright.
under-
here's the setup here. Florence, as we have established, is basically a magical construct of sorts. It is in the shape of an animal. It kind of has the tendencies of an animal. As
Animal handling.
yes, but it's also technically still a cart. So if you have proficiency in what is it?
Vehicles?
Yeah, if you have
Oh,
that,
land vehicles.
yes, if you have that, I will allow that proficiency.
Guys, I'm a land vehicle.
You're a land vehicle?
No, you're
No.
He
not.
has
I can
land
do it.
vehicle proficiency.
I
You're a
can do it.
transformer!
I mean, yes, but no.
More than meets the eye.
We found Optimus Prime, guys. Okay, but yeah, so make me handle animal, I guess.
Wait, is it vehicles or is it handle animal?
Is there an actual role that says handle vehicles? Legit asking here.
No.
I was under the impression that the
Your
land
vehicle proficiency just lets you drive.
Well, I assumed it was a bonus to something, isn't it? Or is that something else?
I mean, it says you're proficient with land vehicles. That's about it.
Okay. Well, listen, I will let you add your proficiency bonus to the handle animal because Florence is
Okay.
kind of a hybrid.
Okay.
Here we go, kids.
Good thing I had that. Good thing I had that proficiency bonus. That is a 15.
All right, not terrible.
Hmm.
Pretty good. What's everyone else got to bring to the table?
Oh,
Oh.
shit. Alright.
Oh yeah, Svein can try and help out.
Yeah, don't just sit there and watch Kennam do
12.
everything. Okay, Lannon, you can go sit and watch them do this.
Svein got a 10.
Oh my god.
He wants to help, but
This doesn't know how. Okay,
No.
so you boys make your way up to the control panel, upstairs, and Svein and Lannon, you take one look at this control panel, and you've seen Ears work this before, but it always just kind of looked like she threw buttons and pushed levers, reverse that order, and yeah. But you're kind of looking at this panel, and it's like, did she just literally make it the fuck up, or did she know what she was doing?
I mean,
interesting
half and
conundrum.
half?
Half and half. Kennam, you meanwhile, you have seen Ears drive a couple times. I actually imagined that it was you and Winslow, because Winslow was allowed to drive a couple times, so maybe Winslow took you up and was like, hey dude, this is totally how this works. And then he showed you the gears and the buttons and shit.
God damn it, Ears always keeping secrets from us. Like how to
Yeah.
drive.
She never thought this day would come. So basically your option is, here's your options. You can either, because you know that there is an autopilot function to Florence, and Florence will just naturally run towards the Salted Pearl caravan, or you can take matters into your own hands, try and drive, and from here on out, you will know how to drive Florence. Of course, if you...
No time like the present to learn. Additionally, if I just say go to the Salted Pearl caravan, I imagine that he's just gonna sit on the caravan itself, so I think I'm gonna take my chances.
Okay. Well, I just want you to know, if you get a really low roll, Florence is just gonna explode, so...
What?
No reason
Right.
why, just it'll happen.
I'll push one button, he'll jump into the air, land on his back, and explode.
Yeah.
Yep. And Ears is gonna come back and ask
Be
why
so
you push that button.
No, she's
That's
listen,
Please
If I
tell me you
survive.
have some important roles.
no, listen.
I mean, I
She's-
do.
Listen,
Thank
she's
God.
gonna be riding Kevin, and all of a sudden she's gonna feel 50% better. She's gonna look straight ahead and be like, God damn it! And immediately turn Kevin around.
Wait, that takes half her power?
Yeah,
Do you know how big this fucker
Yeah,
is?
Florence
Fair.
is huge.
Florence is huge. Alright, what's the deal then, Kennam? Do you feel confident enough to drive a kitty cart?
Fuck it, why not?
Oh god. Alright, here we
I
go,
was a cat.
kids.
I always imagined it as a dragon.
No, it's definitely not a dragon. You can make something a
Okay.
dragon.
Modified 20.
Hot diggity fuck.
Thank God. I
I
would
have
have
a
been
+7 in this, by the way.
Well, that's good, because I would have been legit upset if you had blown up Florence.
Wait, what? Just quick question. What was the DC he had to pass?
To dry Florence,
Yeah.
it was like 15 or above, so like...
Oh.
Like, listen, if it was like 10 to 14, it wouldn't have been terrible. If you had gotten any of those single digits, it would not have been good.
So pretty much if I rolled a 1 or 2.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I've said, you've seen Florence kind of be piloted before, and you're like, no, I got this, guys, and you just kind of crack your knuckles, put your hands on the levers, and you start driving Florence. It's a little hickety-pickety at first, like one leg goes forward, but then the wrong arm kind of goes forward, so it's very like cheat, 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 cheat. But then you kind of get into a rhythm, and yeah, you are officially driving Florence.
Hooray!
So that is a skill that you can officially add to your list, Tom, that you can drive a giant monster cat cart.
And away we go!
And away
Yay.
we go! Oh, similarly too, I should add, what's your name? Hey, Nick. There we go.
Yes.
Just because you, lasted the longest on your... We need a good name for these animals that are also pieces of furniture. We'll think
Didn't
of
we
another...
settle on a name last week?
No. It has
We
a
had
name.
Sleepy Time Pupper, but...
No, it was I thought it was the
Yeah.
pupper stuffer or something stupid like that.
Yeah, something.
Slumber pupper.
There it
Slumber
is,
pupper,
slumber
there we go.
pupper.
Yeah,
No, I just mean like for the species as a whole, like all of the animals collective. But
Ooh,
for
yeah.
now, I'm gonna have you add this to your list too. You have proficiency driving slumber puppers now. I really hope that's the name.
No, that
We were
sounds
like-
right.
We had like a bunch of them. I don't remember which one it was.
It's been about a month, guys.
Yeah.
Listen, it's officially slumber pupper now. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But you have proficiency with that too. So anytime you summon a slumber pupper, you can get right on that bitch, and he's like, "Sup, bro?" And you'll be like, "Not much, slumber pupper."
I'm gonna give it a proper name at some point.
Okay, like
Some point.
Dennis, like Dennis the slumber pupper.
You have no idea.
I don't.
By the way,
Okay. Yeah.
guys, we totally need to get, like, more Florences, combine them,
no.
and do a Voltron-style
No.
monster cart. I want one. Just as a
Absolutely.
Yes.
side note.
I mean, listen, do the math. I already told you it takes like 50% of Irsa's power to do one Florence.
I didn't say Irs was the only one doing this, did I?
Oh my god.
We'll find
All right.
somebody.
Ears teach us how to do this.
Okay. Well, back to plot. Florence gets you
Anyway.
back on the plot. You, like I said, it takes like 15 minutes for Florence to rush over to the Salted Pearl caravan. My assumption, my hopes, and my prayers is that you start to slow down, because if you do not, the entirety of that caravan is gonna think there's a fucking earthquake coming their way.
I mean, I'm gonna try.
Alright. I mean, you have,
Roll to try.
I would say, you have proficiency with this kitty cat now, so it should not be hard for you.
Wait, do I add that to my vehicle proficiency, or what am I doing with this?
Literally,
What the actual hell am I doing with this now?
No. Literally, because you now pretty much know how to drive Florence. Unless you are in situations of crisis, I'm not going to make you roll.
Okay,
Or like if you're
yeah,
distracted or
Or if you're distracted or
asleep.
some shit. Yeah, you know, like if situations arise, I will not make you roll because you know what's up. You and Florence, you have the soul connection.
Will you let me into the basement now?
No.
Oh.
Soul connection ain't that strong, bro.
Damn it.
We'll get there, Florence, I say, patting the controls.
It's like...
Lannon will break through whatever fucking barrier there is if he has to.
That should be magic. The one thing you can't
Alright.
break through.
So where are you parking, Florence? This is very crucial.
Probably, like, within walking distance of the caravan,
Okay.
but
Well,
not,
here's what
like,
all right.
in the camp.
Let me set you up here. So,
Yeah, Kennam's never been here before, so...
Oh yeah, it's a good point. Let me describe this scene for you then. As the beach kind of starts to flatten out a bit, you start to arrive at the crest of a dune, and below this dune, kind of this incline, is where the caravan has been set up. So directly behind the caravan is the Astral Puddle Ocean itself. Then off to the right is more of the beachfront. To the left, it's a little bit of more of a rockier beachfront. Maybe like this is where caves or shoals. Is shoals a thing? Yeah, shoals is a thing.
Sure.
Sure.
As far as you know.
As far as I know, I'm not totally Google's checking what the fuck a shoal is.
I don't know. It has something to do with water.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. Technically, they're shoals because it's like a group of fish. So they're all shoals, technically. There's fish. You killed a giant fish, so you know there's fish.
Are squids fish?
I have, you know what?
There are now.
Listen, we're gonna stop now. We'll call up Bill Nye the Science Guy. He will confirm it at the end of this episode.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I mean, they're in the same section in the supermarket. So.
Yeah. So basically, you have 3 options here, Kennam. You can leave it on top of the sand dune. You can kind of go off to the left where it's still more like beachfront and it's flatter, or you could go off more to the right where it's rockier.
I'm gonna go to the left. It seems like the easiest.
Shit. No, I'm sorry. Reverse that. Right is smooth. Left is rocky.
Wherever smooth is, I think I'm gonna go over there.
Go right. Fucking go right then.
Yeah.
I would have put it on top of the sand dune just as a lookout, but hey, whatever.
But if things go bad, we'd have to climb a sand dune. And remember the last time you tried to climb a sand dune?
That's true.
I was fine.
Yeah,
Did
well,
have,
Lobe does not do, not Lobe, Svein does not do well with heights.
Listen,
No.
he and Lana, you had Lord Stuffington to help you last time, so I'm just gonna keep throwing out names until you give it a name.
Alright, yeah, I'm gonna go into the smooth area.
Okay, so to everybody else, like the rest of the caravan, they basically just see like this little rinky-dink cart kind of go like slip sliding down the down the dunes. I just realized.
How stupid this looks? Yeah, I realized it too.
Is there like a car radio? Can we be blaring some weird tunes?
No, but
Is there such thing as radio?
no, you could sing something. You could have Jam sing something.
Yeah, you
Jam
need to
doesn't
level
have
up
a
your bard
vocal
class some more.
cords.
Well, Jam
Maybe you
doesn't
can
have.
summon tunes.
You could summon tunes. Listen, Jam doesn't have vocal cords, but she could sing something for you. It's truth. I actually don't know. Did you ever unsummon Jam, or is Jam?
No, I mean, if she's gonna come out for the day, she's coming out for the day.
Oh, okay. So did she just help you steer? Was she the fucking like captain?
I imagine she's probably like sitting on my shoulder like a parrot.
Yes,
Yeah.
I approve. Okay. Well, no. The
Jam wants
reason.
a strawberry.
Yeah, with her strawberry hat. The reason I said it was dumb. Oh, she still has armor, doesn't she? I'm getting way off track.
Technically.
Ooh.
God, there's so many good things that happen, guys. I'm just so excited. No, but listen, the reason I said it looks dumb is because to everyone else, it looks like this animalist cart is just sliding down the dunes. But to you guys, it's like fucking Florence trying not to faceplant as it goes down this like slippery, sandy bullshit.
Splish splash, I was taking the
Taking the
bath.
bath. Da-da-da-da.
Thanks for reminding me, by the way. I'm taking the armor back.
Oh, okay. So Jam's back to normal.
Yes, just so if she gets too close, she's not taken into the ocean.
Ooh, good point.
Good
Probably
thinking.
for the best.
Yeah, so you park the Florence without too much hassle after that. You see a couple dots coming towards you. Like, it's still very dark outside, but, like, by the flicker of torches and shit, you see halflings are starting to come to your cart because that was a really weird thing that just happened. So,
It has a motor. What the fuck's a motor?
Yeah.
So,
Clearly.
yeah. And I want to make it clear that if you all, like, take your time to, like, step out of this cart, it's gonna look like a tiny person, a medium person, and a really big person just stepped out of a tiny person's cart. It's gonna be some weird, like, clown car shit.
Yeah, let's just hurry up and get out.
Okay.
I mean,
Wait a second.
we already look weird, so we might as well just go full circle there.
Well,
All the way.
Hold on, real quick.
Yeah.
Lannon's gonna go check out Yosh.
Okay.
I mean, he's still unconscious.
I know he is, but like,
Does
how
he
is
need-
he able to see the cart?
Mysteries.
He doesn't have one of them.
Fuck
marks,
you,
as far as
right?
I know.
What'd you say, Tom?
You right.
You right. Okay. So you are gonna go over to Yosh then?
Yeah.
Okay. Yash is still sleeping.
Okay. Do
On
I
the
see one of the
couch.
marks on anywhere?
Well, he doesn't really have arms or fingers anymore, so like he's a bird.
Yeah, I know.
Oh shit, actually no, this makes total sense on how he actually saw it, because the birds saw it, and we were throwing things for the seagulls, so that would explain how the birds saw it, and then Yash was just kind of flying, and then we took him out of the sky.
Yeah.
So that one's on us, actually.
Oh fuck.
Wait, hold on. Can you say that explanation one more time?
Well, I mean, we were getting the seagulls with the food and shit, and then the seagulls could see the shit, obviously, because how else would they have, gone for the food?
It's
The
true.
bird is part seagull, so at least there's that. The harpy tried to attack us, and so it could have seen the cart. And then Yash, we kind of just made Yash fall asleep at the wheel, kind of, and then he crashed into the cart, so technically he doesn't have to have seen it.
So basically now the running theory is you guys can see it because you have symbols, and birds can see it because why not?
Well, I mean, they followed food, so...
That might be something you have to ask Ears if she comes back alive.
I mean, who knows? Maybe this is like a supernatural thing where animals and children can see it, but normal
The
people-
innocence of
Yeah,
the heart.
The adults don't believe.
It's like fucking fairies.
I was thinking more Polar Express with the bells, but hey.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Mommy, it's a big cart!
That's nice,
Honey.
Jimmy. Go take your medicine.
The fuck are you on about, Sally?
Alright, so you park your cart, go check Yash. Are you gonna wake him up at this point, then?
No, he's fine.
No, yeah, don't wake him up.
Alright, 2 more
Would he
days
You
of
got
sleep.
2 days.
And listen, if he sees his shadow, that means 6 more weeks of winter.
Yeah.
Relevance. Okay. So you then stumble out of the cart, and because you did take your time, all of the halflings see a tiny person, a mid-sized person, and a giant person step out of this clown cart. So that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got this crowd of fair-skinned halflings just kind of looking at you guys like, what the fuck?
Pay no mind to the
Welcome
cart
one and
behind
all
the
to
curtain.
Yes.
Welcome one and all to Kennam's Wondrous Emporium. Here's our clown car.
Wait, are you actually doing this?
Sure. Why
Do it.
not?
Sure.
Why
you're-
not?
Bunch of fucking traveling clowns. I love it. It's very relevant.
We were supposed to be heroes. Now we're just clowns.
Now you're just clowns.
Now we're fools.
Listen,
were
you
Story
guys
of my fucking
Never
life.
suspect us. We're going
We
in
were
undercover.
always clowns, guys.
roll your shit.
I mean,
roll your
true.
clown roll. Let's see if they believe you.
14.
Well, the crowd collectively got a 5. So, you hear the murmurs like, oh, so they're like a circus act? Oh, that's pretty cool. Mommy, I want to go touch one of the clowns. So good start.
what the fuck's a clown?
What's a clown? Yeah. And once more, Ian kind of pushes his way to the front, and he says, "Oh, I'm glad you came back. I mean, not to discredit you. I honestly thought that whole situation earlier scared you off. And this guy looks totally frazzled, like, ooh, excuse me, I got some burpees. He's got, like, black spots under his eyes. He looks like he hasn't slept in a week. This guy just looks like he crawled out of a grave and thinks he's a people.
He thinks he's people.
Still has that, like, the white bird mask that he did have kind of on the side of its base. It's sort of, like, behind him now, around his neck. You see, like, the very faint outline of a string. It must have wiggled through at some point. And he looks to the rest of you and he says, oh, I'm sorry. We didn't actually get a chance to, introduce ourselves, but, that can come in a second. We've got a little spread in our caravan if you wanted to sit down and talk there. This sort of seems like a cold place for introductions.
That sounds like a great idea.
Yes, please.
I mean, sure, why not?
Okay. Now, here's my question to you, Kennam.
Yes.
Is Jam still animated, or what's the deal with that?
Jam, play dead.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so Jam is playing dead. Is she, like, in your backpack at this point?
She's probably gonna hang out in my bag, yeah. Just
Okay.
kind of half
Alright.
out.
Alright. We're gonna see how well Jam does with this whole deal.
Performance.
I mean, I
Damn,
imagine
Jam.
she just has to hold still.
Well, yeah, but can you imagine how hard that is for a little tiny person like her?
Fair enough.
No, she got 16, so she's actually doing pretty well. Go Jam. So
This is her jam.
This is her jam. Fucking hilarious.
Cory thought so.
Yeah. So a couple of the halflings are going to kind of like start heading back to the caravan. They're gonna kind of strike up conversations with you, Svein, and with you, Lannon, you know, because they've never seen, well, they've hardly seen you two before, so like it's interesting, like, whoa, a half-elf and a dwarf? This is the coolest day ever, aside from that scene a couple hours ago where people literally died from a squid, but whatever.
And then the squid died to a different people.
Yeah, but you know. So that's fun.
They thought it would scare us away. We bigger.
Takes a
And,
lot more than that to scare us.
Yeah. And
Yeah, it takes a 6-story ooze.
not even that though.
No, that scared Lannon.
That's good.
That
That legit
scared him.
scared Lannon.
That scared him. Yeah.
Aw,
That was
Lannon
six. That was six
Gave him
fucking
the
stories out of a
willies.
hole. Like,
it's true. It's
And
pretty
then it was a
scary.
hole in 6 stories.
Was. So yeah, y'all are going back to this caravan. And before you go, Kennam, Ian kind of put its a hand on you, and he's like, I don't think I had the pleasure of meeting you personally. You're with the other two, correct?
Yes.
And he kind of like holds out a hand to you and says, well, I think we should properly introduce ourselves, just, you know, before the less formal introductions, just so I have a first name basis.
Sure. I'm Kennam.
Okay, do you go to shake his hand?
Yeah, I'll shake his hand.
Okay. And I want you to roll me a strength check.
I was about to say con save.
Don't make me do this, Cat. Don't make me do this.
I'm making you do this.
That's a 4.
Ooh.
You're a wizard bard combo. You're not strength.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he goes to shake your hand. And, Kennam, you've been around the block. You know what's up with the handshake. Sometimes they're firm, sometimes they're wimpy, sometimes people going for a hug. You're used to this shit by now. You gotta shake this guy's hand. And, there's the very, like, faintest sign of, like, a tighter grip. And, you, like, you know, you shake your hand for a couple seconds, and you go to pull away, and he's still holding onto your hand. And actually, he sort of pulls you closer to him.
Oh, I thought he was gonna get stuck like that.
Yeah,
Well,
he had
I'm
fucking...
visibly awkward at this point.
Yeah. And he kind of leans into your ear, and he says, it seems you've misplaced your mask, friend. And that grip on your hand gets a little tighter. And he says, there's been enough around these parts to scare people. I'd rather not give them something more to worry about. You'll take care of this, right?
It's just getting polished back in Florence.
And that grip on your hand tightens?
Oh no! Wait, is this like away from the rest of us?
I mean, you could, like, glance around and do a perception if you want to try and see what's going on back here.
Please.
Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
Where's Kennam?
Fuck, nope, that's a 7.
Yeah, no, you glance back.
17.
Ooh. So, Lana, you glance back, and you see Ian and Kennam, and it kind of looks like they're doing a bro hug, and you kind of elbow Svein, and it's like, look, they're doing a bro hug. They must like each other. Or maybe it's a halfling thing. Svein, you turn around, and just like the fucking ill content that is rolling off of Ian is so, like, present, it almost just knocks you off your feet. Like, this is a visibly gut-wrenching, incredibly tension-filling scene that is going on between these two right now.
So Svein's gonna elbow Lannon back and just shake his head like, no, not good.
Lannon's gonna start making his way over, just like nonchalantly, still talking to people around him, but
Svein as
making
well.
his way over.
Like backpedaling through, like, hi, how
Yeah.
are you? How are you? Hi, how are you?
Yeah, sure, why
Forgot
not?
my coat
Okay.
in the car.
I left my coat in the car. Okay, roll me, oh shit, we just played Pathfinder yesterday, god. Is it, what is
There's
the...
performance.
Yeah, roll me performance. I gotta pull up the 5e stuff. This is ridiculous.
15.
Ooh! That's a good
13.
That's a good performance. Okay. So you guys kind of like nonchalantly start backpedaling a bit. Kennam, Ian still kind of whispered that to you. I don't know if you want to respond to his hand like tightening around yours even more so.
Yeah, he's gonna like just kind of try and take a step back and just go, you know what, guys? I think I forgot something in the cart. I'm gonna go hang back there for a bit.
Yeah, no, like, immediately as you say that, Ian pulls away, and whatever disgusting demeanor was around him, Svein, it's gone. And he's back to, like, being happy but kind of a little tired, and he looks back at you two and he says, oh, well, I suppose I should get back and make sure the little ones haven't snarfed anything, so, when you three are ready, we'll be at the caravan. It's one of the bigger carts there. It's a whole great spread. I think you'll like it. And he will kind of just start whistling and making his way back to the caravan.
Insight.
Sure.
Lannon's following Kennam.
5.
Svein, you just think he had a moment. Maybe, like, he's so sleep deprived that he just kind of snapped at the first person he could, so... He seems okay now, though, so... Ian must have just had a moment.
Alright, so Svein's gonna go back with Lannon to go back to the cart.
Okay.
He's just gonna think to himself, like, halfling thing.
Halflings, am I right? Okay, so, Lannon, are you making it known that you're following Kennam back to the cart?
Yeah. Party's
Okay.
gotta stay together, so
Alright, so Kennam,
Following
you
back.
know that Svein and Lannon are following you. What do you do?
you can hear the clinking of Lannon's plate mail.
Clink, 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 clink.
Kennam is not paying attention. He's gonna head back to the cart and just like sitting there for a good second to catch his breath.
Okay, so we'll say that you kind of make it to the cart first. You go through Florence's entrance. You're standing in the middle of, well, the entrance. And, yeah, where do you go to kind of catch your breath?
We'll go to the library.
Okay, so you kind of hang to the right, pass by the kitchen, head to, like, the far back of the room, and sit down in one of the chairs in the library. And you feel your backpack wiggle a bit, and Jam is kind of, like, crawling up onto your shoulder, and she, like, pats your face, and she's like, Mr. Toscobble, you okay?
Oh, a little less than so, but about to be expected.
I'd like to know the same thing, really. Lannon just walks into the library.
I was just like, and then Lannon is just suddenly there, and it's like, Jesus Christ! Oh, that'd be really funny. But yes, yeah,
Wow, so
continue.
this is what the library looks like.
Good place to do reading.
And then Spain suddenly just bamps out of nowhere.
Yeah.
See, Svein's a sneaky motherfucker, so it's expected of him.
I'll roll
Yeah.
stealth. 17.
Oh yeah, you literally just appeared. Like Lannon said his line, Ken, I'm sure you go to like rub your face, you look up, and now Spade's there.
Yeah, no, I'm okay, guys. Why don't you go see what Ian has to say? I'm gonna have to take a second and collect myself.
Well, okay, if you're sure.
Alright. We'll see you,
Scout
we'll
out
see you down at the
everything.
spread.
Yeah, we'll see you there.
Heads down. I kind of want to insight check Kennam, though.
Sure, go for it.
What is that even versus?
Well, okay, here's my thought with the whole insight checking thing. It's not really to see why you're upset. It's just seeing that you are upset and it might be about something. Because he's insight checked you about this specific thing before.
Yeah.
Wow. 17.
Wow. That's a good insight check. Okay. Lannon, you kind of flashback when you and Kennam... Did I say Kennam twice?
No, you said Lannon.
Okay, you both have very similar syllable. Anyway, so Lannon,
At least
you
it's
flash...
not Kevin.
It's
Yeah.
Kevin. You flash back to Kennam, and then also Carl was there, and also Kira Masu. Fucking K people.
Sitting over with Hussein.
Sitting over with Hussein. No, you kind of flash back to the moment where you and Kennam were up on Florence, and you were investigating the blood splatter of Yasha's old body. And there was a conversation that briefly came up between you and Kennam, and it was sort of talking about masks, the animal masks that halflings wear. And you didn't really get anywhere with that conversation, because Kennam
You said you'd tell me later.
Yeah, he was also real salty about it, so... but yeah, you look at him, you watch as he sits in this armchair and Jam's kind of like still stroking his face and like saying sort of incoherent words to try and make him feel better. It's you're getting the same vibe. Like, this is what it's about, you just don't know specifically why.
Alright. Good to know.
That was the end of that conversation.
I mean, yeah. You just looked at him and walked out.
Alright. Then you two walk out of Florence, you and Svein. And if you want to talk about anything or divulge any information, I will give you a moment.
Think he's hiding something?
Well, I don't know. He certainly seemed troubled by something. I think he could be. But I don't know. Maybe we should just give him his space.
For now.
For now, yes.
I'll have a word after the mission. And off to the spread.
Okay.
Yes, let us eat.
Kennam, how long are you going to stay in Florence?
I'm going to wait about... Well, where did he, well, yes, kind of, but, did Ian, when we were out there, kind of motion to the tent it was at?
Yeah, he sort of said it was one of the bigger carts there. It'd be really hard to miss. Sort of in the middle of it all.
How far away was that?
Literally like a 5-minute walk.
Okay, I'm gonna wait about 10 minutes and then cast Clairvoyance so I can still see what's going on.
Ooh, okay. So you are not going to leave this cart then?
I'm sure as hell gonna try.
You're gonna try to not leave?
I'm gonna try and stay as far away from that as I can.
Okay. So, Lobe, or not Lobe, I'm sorry. Rest in pieces. I tried. Lannon and Svein, you head back to the caravan of the Salted Pearl Like. You are kind of making your way through the carts. It's really... I don't know if either of you had ever been in a fully set up halfling caravan.
Mm-mm.
Probably not.
That's my guess. But this is kind of like a town that just came up overnight. It's just like all the houses are made of moving vehicles. Like, you've got a bunch of carts sort of pushed together, so it kind of looks like living quarters. You've got carts that have like tables flipped up, so it's like shops. You've got carts that are rolled out completely, so it's like you could drop your kids off here while you go hunting, or hey, come into this cart so you can get healed. And then at the center of it all, there's like this massive tent structure, and the top of it has it tied off to like 5 different ropes, and underneath this like colorful myriad of myriad, of different sewn together cloths and whatnot, you see this giant shimmering silver pole holding the whole structure upwards. So it's not like a tent in the traditional sense where the whole place is obscured. It's more like a tent. It's a tent roofing, and you can still see what's underneath. And underneath, it's kind of like a town hub of sorts. You see a lot of halflings kind of like coming and going. There's blankets spread out on the ground. You see some kids playing like a dice game or something. No, they're not gambling. I knew someone was going to ask me that, so I'm just going to cut you off there.
Damn it.
They're just playing Yahtzee.
Lennon would have joined.
Listen, if they're going to gamble, they're not going to gamble in front of everybody. They're smart. You got to find that ring.
Fair. Okay.
And at the center of it all, you see this beautifully, like, sandstone carved table. And it's got, like, a bunch of these benches kind of wrapped around it. And on top of the table, there's this huge, like Ian said, huge spread of food. There's, like, meat dishes and fruit baskets and holy shit, that, like, smell of fresh bread when it first comes out of the oven.
Oh.
Delicious. And kind of waiting at this entrance is Ian. And you see he's kind of standing underneath there, and he's kind of bathed in, again, like this myriad of colors, because like underneath this tent there's a bunch of lanterns, and they're reflecting off of the colors of the tent. Like, it's fucking wonderland here. It is the coolest thing you guys have ever seen. I hope,
So it's
anyway.
like a carnival in a
Until I
tent.
top it with something else. Equally cool. And Ian kind of waves you over, and he's like, "Oh, come on in this way. We have a seat for you." And he gestures to one of the benches.
Oh, nice.
Gladly.
All right, and you two take a seat. And like I said, this spread, delicious. So many delicious things here. You've got like pheasant. You've got a whole fucking pig. There's a bunch of like these really aromatic smelling soups. A wide number of exotic fruits. Even you, Lannon, like being part of like an elvish civilization and having like some exotic imports and exports. There's some fruits here you haven't even seen before. And I want you both to make a perception check.
Ooh.
13.
Okay, decent.
18.
All right, so Svein, you noticed that around this area and kind of as you've been walking, it's been mostly like the fair-skinned halfling. They've got like a myriad of different... I like that word myriad. This episode is brought to you by the letter M, by the way. A kaleidoscope, there we go, of different animals like sheep and wolves and bears and tigers and eagles. And there's not many of the darker-skinned halflings that you saw that kind of were like at the gate, and they had sort of more of an ocean theme to them. And Lannon, you are looking over this beautiful display of food of like 3 a.m. munchies. And there's
Man.
yeah, but there's not a single thing here that's like a fish-based dish or seafood or anything to that extent.
I mean, understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ocean that they're parked by is filled with an entire being.
That's true.
Like, the fish very well could have been swallowed up by that squid that we killed.
Stupid fucking squid. Squids ruin everything.
Yep,
Down with
that's
squids.
right.
All right. So Ian kind of gestures around and he's like, I know there's a lot here. We all got a little enthusiastic, but feel free to help yourself. And if there's anything I can, yes.
How long did it take you to make all this? Like, holy hell.
That's a good question.
Ian smiles and he kind of gestures to everyone and he says, well, it's a rare sight when heroes come to aid you in a monstrous situation, so we wanted to all show our thanks.
Lennon's like partially drooling.
Well, no,
But
please, go ahead. If you can eat first, and if you have questions for me that you could think of, ask away. I mean, you helped us with that squid. I'm certain you can help us with other things.
Fucking grabs a turkey leg or some shit, starts nomming on it.
Just
and-
nom nom.
Yeah. Spain's getting a little of everything.
All right. And while you do that, Ian's gonna kind of give you the lowdown of what's been going on. He says, like I said, my name is Ian, and this, while technically not my caravan, I felt inclined to help our halfling brothers and sisters. I'm actually part of a caravan called the Sandstrewn Caravan. We were we came from Azu-on-Dil, and we were making our way through the desert when we came across this, and he points kind of farther out to the ocean where the fence is, and you can see as you're eating, there are halflings like picking up dishes and going over to the fence, and he says, something's been happening to the astral puddle. I don't know what it is, but it's not letting the salted pearls leave. And with that creature that you fought earlier, that giant squid, I've never seen anything that big, but there have been sea creatures who have tried to abduct members of the Salted Pearl. Sometimes the ocean itself even rears up.
Ooh.
Oh, that sounds insane, but
Well, no, we believe you. We've seen some pretty insane things too.
While nomming on that turkey leg, it's not as insane as you think.
And Ian says, yes, your companion Lobe, he told us a lot about what you are doing. That you all have these abilities with these seeds, and it's all connected to the world tree.
It takes a swallow. Yes. We kind of fell across these abilities not too long ago, before we went over to Azu-on-Dil, where I'm sure that's where you talked with Lobe. But I actually have an idea of what this might be.
Well, please, if you have anything, I would love to hear it.
Lannon's... Alright. Can I make a quick perception check to see, like, if Mimicrome is still bouncing on my armor?
Yeah. I mean, you can literally just look down and be like, hey, Mimicrome, what's up?
Fair. 18 anyway.
Okay. Yeah, at this point, the Mimicrome is... Oh, excuse me. Oh my gosh, hang on. Ian's very gassy. Hold up just a second. Okay. Sorry, I had the...
That's staying in.
I had some root beer. Delicious stuff. Super carbonated. Anyway.
Sometimes that can be the best.
Oh, yes, so good. No, so...
Fuck is carbonation?
It's a new halfling invention. So, your Mimicrome is so fucking chill right now, dude. Like, before you entered under this tent, it was, kind of a little twitchy because it's close to the ocean and it's close to the halflings that probably have this stuff in their bloodstream like Yosh did. But, you sat down, you started eating, and it's relaxed right now. It's not doing much.
Okay. Then I'm gonna test something.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna bring out one of my hand axe hilts and just, make the hand axe. See if it actually does what I want it to.
Okay. You pull out your stick and you do the concentration thing, and it's weird. Like, when you try to make stuff and you don't really know how to make it, so you kind of have to paint a picture for the Mimicrome of how to do it.
Yeah.
Sort of like that situation. It's like there's this little fuzzy part in your head that's like, wait, how do I do this again? And the Mimicrome reciprocates that because it like kind of goes to move, but not really. It's like almost hesitating, like, wait, what are we supposed to do?
Oh, fuck.
But you can make that will save to be like, no, we do this. And then it'll do it. Maybe.
Okay.
We'll see.
Was that Constitution?
Oh, yeah. Why did I say will?
Wow. Alright, modified 20.
Uh-oh.
Fucking rolling high today, boys.
What did you get? I'm sorry, I cut off briefly.
Modified 20.
Woo! That's a good roll!
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so you get your Mimicrome shit together, and they start to form the hand axe, and, it's just, did you, like, warn Ian at all? Are you just kind of doing it?
In hindsight, I probably should have, but at this point, it's already, like, halfway through making it.
Okay, so too late now. Yeah, Ian falls the fuck off his chair, and he points at the Mimicrome as it's forming this axe, and he's like, What is that? And you see, like, some of the more decked out halflings kind of, like, start to enter the tent. You see them pulling out their weapons.
It's okay. It's okay.
No, it's cool. I wasn't trying to assassinate anybody. Oh, fuck.
Don't be alarmed.
I was just testing something out. This, and I hold up the hand axe. This might be what's, well, messing with the other caravan.
And Ian kind of holds a hand up as the guards start to come in a bit, but he holds up his hand. And he stands up and he says, What is that? How did it do that? I've never seen anything like it before.
We call it mimichrome. It's a metallic substance that, when you concentrate for a bit, it'll make just about whatever you want.
Fascinating. So, you think this has something to do with the Salted Pearl situation?
Yes, because earlier, when I was over by the sea with that damn monstrosity, it was bouncing off my armor, and it seemed like it wanted to get back to the rest of it.
To the rest of it? You mean in the ocean, right?
Yes.
And Ian slowly takes a seat and he says, Good gods. I mean, if that's the case, then... But then, what does that have to do with the Salted Pearl? Like, why would it go after them?
Well, it wants to come back together. And the Salted Pearl, well, some of the members, are being dragged towards the ocean, correct?
And you see, like, this light bulb going off in Ian's head, and, like, the surrounding people, too, who are listening in, you start to hear them, like, mutter and whisper together, and Ian waves his hand again, and he says, Then things are worse than I thought, but how on earth do you beat something like this? Like, is there a way to stop it?
I had an idea. We may have to chop off a finger to see if it works. I'm kidding.
Collective gasp, like...
I'm kidding. Just a couple of, like, skin pricks. Get a bit of blood flowing, see if that helps. I think it might be in their bloodstream.
And you see Ian kind of scratching his chin for a minute, and then he waves another halfling over, and they start kind of whispering back and forth. And he looks really solemn all of a sudden, and that halfling goes away, and he looks back to you two, and he says, Well, I mean, I suppose our healers could work on that, but what if another one of those attacks happened? I mean, this mimichrome seems very keen on, what did you call it, reconstituting itself?
Yes.
I just don't understand why now.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Well, we are seeing a lot of very strange things happening across the world.
Yeah. First,
in our travels, we've...
older than
yes.
The ooze in our Azuan deal.
So, it really isn't that surprising to see things acting up and just being abnormal right now.
It occurs to me that they probably haven't heard about the zombie attack.
Shh! They don't need to know about that!
No.
I mean, unless Lobe kind of poorly told them about it.
I mean, probably.
Yeah. Ian scratches his chin again, and he says, Well, So you think maybe this is a world tree problem? These seeds, or these, what did Lobe call them? The saplings.
Saplings?
You think it's one of those, maybe?
I have no idea. I'm not the smart one. I'm just strong.
I wouldn't rule it out. It could be possible, but well, we don't know.
This is unfortunate. Well, the problem is we're quite low on people as is. The Salted Pearl had a couple of scouts that were sent out to try and get help. That's actually why we came in this direction in the first place, but I don't know where they went after that, so if anyone else could come out to help us, or maybe even tell us more about this mimichrome, I don't know if it's going to happen at this point. Yeah, you gonna spill that secret? You gonna tell him about Yash? You gonna tell him what you did?
No.
Nope, keeping that.
Svein is keeping quiet on that.
So he sighs, and he says, well, I mean, I can't leave. My entire caravan is trying to help this one. If you can help us figure this out, that would be immensely helpful.
Svein's gonna look at Lannon and say, how would we even begin to learn more about this? We're gonna have to swim down to the bottom of the ocean?
Actually,
No.
Listen, hear me out.
No.
Hear me out. I want to try something. And
Okay.
Lennon's gonna grab a knife and just start walking towards the fence.
Ian runs out in front of you, Lannon, and he holds up his hand. He says, what are you doing?
I'm just going to try and draw a little bit of blood. Not enough to kill a person, just a little finger pinprick.
But didn't you say this thing wants to reform? What if it comes out of the ocean again?
If what I'm thinking is correct, it shouldn't want to come out of the ocean. The little bit that's in the halfling should want to go back to the larger mass.
Okay. And, like, this realization kind of dawns on Ian, like, you're making bait of sorts. You want to make a pathway to it.
Yes.
Okay, listen, I understand where you're coming from, but I'm going to ask that you wait on that, at least for a moment.
Okay.
Because I want to believe you, but if we do this and it just completely tears this halfling apart, that's on me.
Listen, I'm gonna be level with you here. I don't know if it'll work myself. That's why I wanted to test it.
Well, at least...
And there's nothing really around to test it on. All of what seems to be living is that halflings. The fish seem to be gone from what your table shows.
Oh, well, actually, we just, we don't really fish that often. This is just what we had.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Well, I wouldn't fish in that ocean either.
I mean,
I
given
can understand that.
given the situation, of course, like, and now especially, it's probably good that we didn't. Whew. Probably doubly good that we had our own water supply, too. Oh my god. And you kind of see him swoon a bit, realizing that he could have, like, just fucked over his entire caravan as well.
Svein begins imagining a fishing pole with a magnet at the end. Catching fish that way.
And he says, okay, so why don't, listen, it's incredibly late. It's still dark outside. Everybody is shaken up from what happened. Let's give some time to sort of recuperate, formulate a strategy. And if you do have to get to the bottom of the ocean, and he kind of laughs like, the bottom of the ocean, we're going to need some time to figure out how to do that. So, if you were...
Fair enough.
Okay, good. So for now, why don't we rest, and we will discuss this further tomorrow. And then he looks around and he says, huh, I thought there was a third one of you, didn't I? Kennam, right?
Yeah, he said he had something to do back at the cart.
Well, if he comes into town, you should send him to me. I can fill him in on the situation.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, we'll let him know.
Okay. Well, I'm sure there's plenty of freed up carts at this point that if you want to take a rest, you can. And he looks kind of somber at this.
We have our own living quarters.
Okay. Then I suppose you'll head back and we will meet tomorrow?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
That sounds good.
All right. Then we have a plan. Thank you again, Lannon and Svein.
No problem.
Okay.
We're gonna help you the best we can. And
Right.
Lennon walks off.
And you and Svein start to walk off, and Ian is sort of still in town. He's getting stuff ready. And Svein, you have been watching Ian talk this entire time. Like I said, he seems pretty normal now. He's kind of giving you the overlay. He looks genuinely upset by the situation. But it was the moment when the Mimicrome came out. Like when Lannon was force forming it. And Ian did kind of look taken aback. But he didn't look scared because it was something he's never seen before. He looked scared in a different sort of way. You can't quite pin what that way is, but that wasn't a, what is this monstrosity, I've never seen this before kind of way.
Okay.
So you are now out of earshot of the Salted Pearl / Sandstrewn caravan.
Okay, so Svein's gonna whisper to, I guess don't really need to whisper, but...
Yeah, you're out of earshot. You're good.
Say, like, I don't think that's the first time that Ian has seen Mimicrome. He seemed concerned about it when you formed your weapon, but... maybe, like, he's somewhat familiar with it, like he's seen what it can do. I think he might know more about this situation than what he's telling us.
Good to know. I'll
Alright.
grab my regular battle axe then.
Let's just have
Not
this on
quite
standby.
sure how he's involved with this, but yeah, he may be hiding something from us.
Duly noted.
Okay. So you make your way back to Florence. Kennam, what have you been up to? Aside from, spying.
Nope, just spying. I was following them out. So long as it keeps for duration.
Yeah. I imagine Jam went back to the kitchen and is kind of just fucking around with the fruit again.
Are we gonna have to clean up?
I mean, maybe. We'll find out. Let's see.
Roll for it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. You walk in. Kennam, what does that look like when you're casting clairvoyance?
That's a good question.
Does it just look like you're, asleep?
Well, I mean,
I would
the
assume
thing
his eyes are just blue, like he's staring off into space.
He looks like he's sitting on the couch watching TV.
What couch?
Yeah, what couch?
Oh,
He's an
yeah.
armchair. Now,
Don't remind me of such losses.
there's still
What
an
the fuck's a
armchair.
TV?
Yeah, that too. So is that what it looks like then, Kennam? Are we making that canon?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you guys walk in, you see Kennam still in the library, he's got the blue eyes, he looks out of focus. Jam has been having a fun time. Jam is in the kitchen, and, it looks like a flour factory fucking exploded.
Oh god damn it! You deal with him. Jam, what'd you do?
And you see her, I would say mixing a bowl, but it's more like she jumps up off of the counter and spins her body around to stir the spoon. And she's like, I'm making happy cake. Everyone's sad. I'm making happy cake. And you see her just pick up an armful of strawberries and just unceremoniously drop them in. And then jump up to back to stirring the spoon with her momentum.
This reminds him so much of his sisters. Oh my god.
Do they make happy cake too?
He's holding back tears. Oh my god.
Wait, is it tears of sadness or tears of mirth?
Tears of God damn it, I miss them.
Aww.
God damn it, Jam.
And she's she hops down from the spoon and she says, I'm not supposed to use the oven though. I don't know how to do that yet, but I'm gonna make happy cake.
Not without one of our supervision.
I
okay?
know. I was gonna ask
Okay.
Mr. Tarscobble. He stares off into space. Points over to Kennam. He's like, why does he stare off into space?
I'm back, by the way. The thing only lasts about 10 minutes.
Okay. Do you just say that? You raise your hand I'm back, by the way.
Just start talking about Kennam
Yeah.
you can't hear us.
Yes.
And Jam.
I presume she's covered in flowers,
Oh,
so Lannon's
hell yeah.
gonna try to wash her or something.
Dust her
Simple
off.
answer: prestidigitation. Cleaned up.
Wait,
There you go.
I thought that was an illusion.
Nope, prestidigitation can clean an object up.
Oh,
I
okay.
could give the illusion of cleanliness.
Yeah, she's still dirty as fuck. So you
That works too.
prestidigitize the cloud of flour kind of off of her. She throws up her hands. She says, "Mission us, Cobble! You back? Where you go?"
Well, I decided to kind of listen in for you guys and see what was going on. Looking at the Svein and Lannon.
You can do
If
that.
they-
Wait, did I lose?
Yeah, pays to have some,
Wow.
pays to have sight magic.
Remind me to be wary whenever I go into the shower.
I don't want to see that, Lannon.
But yeah, so Kennam, you heard everything they heard, so you can begin to exchange information, but you were pretty much there, so I'm not sure if that's necessary.
Make all the insight checks.
Make all the insight checks.
Yeah,
I mean, you can. Go for it.
if I can insight, I wasn't aware I could do that, but if I can, I will.
Yeah, sure. But you have to now tell me specifically, what do you want to insight? Because there were a multitude of things that Ian talked about that you could insight.
Oh yeah.
Primarily... Okay, is it only one insight for, like, can I only pick out one thing, or am I able to do two?
No,
Is the question.
I will let you insight whatever the fuck you want. It's
Okay.
just gonna, range in actually how successful you are.
Starting with... First off, I want to see if he's actually surprised for me not being there.
Okay.
That's an 8, never mind.
Listen, you're so self-conscious right now. You're just glad that you didn't go because he may have thrown a bitch fit at you, and it just would have been a bad scene. So
Yeah, I'm gonna just avoid that one.
just gonna
The
put
next
that one
one
away.
is primarily about the Mimichrome. That's the only other one I was really interested in.
the same thing Svein had rolled for, like if he knows about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's a difference between knowing of it and seeing it before. And I want to see if he's seen it before.
Ah, okay.
Like a seen/used before situation.
I gotcha.
Because it's one thing to know, and there's another thing to actually have used it.
I know.
I'm going to use the Portent roll for this for a modified 20.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Fuck
Portent
yeah.
roll of a 19.
Why do you keep breaking my games with your stupid portent rolls? God, all
He only
tension.
gets like 2.
I know, but all tension just... There it goes. Goodbye. It's okay. I like it. It keeps you on my toes. Okay, so
I only use it for the crazy shit anyway.
so 20 insights. And tell me again specifically what it is about the Mimichrome.
I want to know if it's the same... Like, you said there was a spark of familiarity in there. I want to know if it's the same type of familiarity you would get from someone who has used it before and like, oh, I know what this does. Or if it's someone who's just heard it before.
Okay. So for clairvoyance, you saw everything that happened, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I essentially create my... Like, I make an invisible little ball the size of my fist that I can see through.
Yeah, I got you.
And move about as such.
No.
So.
No, wait. This is actually great. This is actually really great. Okay, so you are remembering the scene kind of play out because Svein and Lannon were talking about, like, yeah, no, did you see that? Like, he had a weird reaction to the Mimichrome. And you think about that scene hard. You are, like, isolating every moment, every, like, facial flinch that Ian went through. And, Svein, I'm sure you mentioned, like, yeah, no, he was scared of it, but it wasn't, like, the kind of scared you think, but I can't put my finger on it.
He was Sherlock Gnome. Wait, shit, he's a halfling.
Damn it! Sherlock short stack.
Yeah.
And as he
Short stack
says...
Holmes?
Yeah. Oh, God. No, stop. And as he says that, Kennam, suddenly something clicks in your head. Because Svein is right. He wasn't scared of it because it was the first time he's seen it. he wasn't even scared of it because it's like he's heard of this before and holy shit, I'm now like seeing it in reality. Fantasy has just become reality. My life is broken. What is even? The words that you would put to that was that Ian saw that and he thought it was his.
Okay, I wasn't a fan of this person to begin with, but now I really don't like him. I'm going to relay this to the rest of the party.
Yeah? Is that so?
Yeah. Sight magic bitches.
I too thought something was a little odd about Ian.
Divination wizards. Alright, so the next question is, what do we do on... How do we act on this to see... Wait, you were talking about looking at the bottom of the ocean, weren't you?
Yes, as crazy
Partially,
as this sounds.
yes.
Well...
Please tell me you have a spell on this.
You do not have a spell!
Clairvoyance has a range of a mile.
Alright. I'm gonna wait, like, a mile in both directions?
It just says range 1 mile.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you now that's not gonna hit the bottom of the ocean!
Damn.
You think the ocean
What
is a
if we
mile
were to
in
go out on
the
a
exact
boat?
bottom.
Okay, no, listen. You guys think that the ocean, the astral puddle, formed by a fucking meteorite that fell from the sky, is 1 mile across and 1 mile down.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
No!
Yeah.
I'm
Is-
just saying we don't have to go the whole way.
Actually, no, yeah. It could
We
be
don't
just
have
sitting
to
there in
risk-
the middle of the puddle.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Guys,
We don't have to risk everything on this.
I mean,
we could
yeah.
just risk a little bit and go
Listen,
most of the way.
I need
Yeah.
you guys to understand the cartography of this ocean. The astral puddle itself is not the whole of the ocean. It is like this section of Gaia's ocean. And like I said, the astral puddle was formed when a meteorite, quote unquote, a star, fell from the sky and created this giant fucking crater in Gaia. And then it filled up with water and it became the ocean. That means that the, with as high as the influence is now, that does mean that the, wherever the Mimichrome is, it probably is close, but I don't know if the entire mass of it's going to be a 1 mile up and 1 mile down. Or 1 mile across and 1 mile down. Now, are you going to find other things that may lead to its location? Absolutely. But it depends. When are you doing this? And how are you doing this?
I don't know. I
Not
thought
right
I'd throw
fucking
it out
now.
there.
I probably want to get a nap first.
Yeah.
I mean, nap is nice. Nap is definitely nice.
You know, if we're gonna eventually be fighting something,
Yeah.
Lannon needs everything. Also, if I sound weird, that's because I'm eating a candy cane.
Oh, so you're snarfing on some of JM's, fucking...
Treats.
Yeah. That she threw
Or
in the cake.
100%.
Oh, on that note, before we go to bed, JM wanted to make happy cake. Let's make some happy cake.
Yes! Jam's gonna make happy cake!
Does she call herself Jam now?
You guys call her Jam, and she calls herself Jam.
Yeah.
Make
You know what?
a
Why
rope.
not?
Make a rope. Make
Okay,
a rope.
why not?
Oh my
We've
god!
established this as nature, correct?
To bake? Yes.
Oh man.
I'm gonna say, for you, Kennam, because you have been cooking a lot, I want to give you the proficiency bonus in cooking.
I mean, if we're doing nature, then I'm already proficient in knowledge in nature.
Well, do it again!
I mean, I could just... I do not need that.
Spain wants to help, but he got a 7.
Oh, so Spain ate a piece of candy and was like, I'm helping!
Yeah.
Lannon, what you get?
Lannon got a natural 20.
Yeah!
I got a 22.
Yes.
This
He
cake
punched
is...
the flour into a cake.
This cake is gonna be fucking cosmic!
I got a 22 on my nature.
Oh my god!
I hope you realize...
Lannon's made happy cake before.
Holy shit, this is gonna be like interdimensional cake. You guys are gonna be warped to a different plane of existence, full of happiness.
Dimension door.
Jesus.
That's how we're gonna get to the bottom of the ocean.
Let's just offer the ocean some happy cake.
Oh my god.
You know what? With the natural 20 and a 22, I'm sure it would accept.
No, listen, I don't think you understand. This is for sure a magical cake. I just don't know what it does yet.
Makes you happy.
Oh my god.
Eat it during
I'll
the
tell you
sad
what.
times.
I'll make things easy. I will totally try and infuse this shit with either the cantrip friends or, if possible, the spell charm person.
Oh my god. This is literal happy cake. This is literally cake you can use to make people your friends.
Can we?
Yeah, it's happy cake.
It's happy cake. How can I say no? Okay, wait. I have a question. What flavor cake is this?
Well,
Is it like all the flavors? Is it your
No,
favorite flavor cake?
hold on. What's today's
Guys.
color, Jam?
What's it? Wait, is this still the
Oh
same
my
thing?
god.
It's blue.
It's blue.
Yeah.
It's
Wait,
Because
why don't we
it's
why don't we go all out and make the party cake? The confetti cake.
No, it's the happy cake.
I know. Confetti makes people happy.
That's true.
Lannon like puts one finger on his nose and points at Kennam like, "You're right."
So it's now a blue confetti exploding magically charmed person / friends happy cake.
Well, I mean,
Yes.
I was leaving the decision up to you whether it was charm person or friends,
Dude, why can't it be both?
because they pretty much negate each other out.
What? Come on.
Charm person is just a better friends.
Oh, well then make it charm person. Fuck that.
Okay.
Okay, so you all officially now... How many times can you cut a cake? Okay, I'm gonna say you have 6 cuttable pieces of slave cake because that's literally what you just made with the power of goddamn friendship. Oh my god. Yeah, no, and Lannon, you're like helming this, like you are organizing everybody and you seem to know this recipe by heart. And
Lannon's made happy cake before. He
No.
has little sisters.
literally Jam comes over and she's like, "You're so good at this. How you do that?"
You see, I have little sisters, and when they were younger, they would make this all the time, and I would help them. While he's just like stirring flour and eggs and whatnot.
Oh my god.
He's still fully decked in his armor too.